Alright, what I have in front of you here is the Blackhawk Sportster. This is a 6 to 9 height bipod. This one has the feature that allows it to pivot while the rifle stays mounted and affixed to the bipod here. These types of bipods, they mount to the swivel sling stud, and it's a pretty decent bipod if you're really careful with it. Now that should not be the case for anything going onto a firearm. Even scopes included. This is something that should be able to handle recoil, movements of the rifle, and just all around just general handling of it. And here's the shocking part to me is I haven't even taken this thing shooting yet, and I've had multiple issues with it so far. Let's go with just right off the bat here. The highlight of this feature here is the pivoting motion that it allows the rifle to stay fixed to the bipod, but allows it to pivot here. One of the drawbacks to that is this lever that is on the back, which is meant for loosening and tightening of the pivot action. This adds just a little bit of length, a little bit more length to the actual bipod here. So if you got bigger hands or a longer length of pull, this will obviously interfere with your hands and your gripping. You'll find yourself bumping up against that there. Now, if that's, you got a shorter length of pull or something like that, it's probably not going to bother you too much. Or if you get a longer, a rifle that has a longer stock on it, that probably won't bother you too much. But the only other thing that I found with this pivoting action here is that even if you tighten this thing all the way up to the max that it can go, it still, if you can see here, and I'm not putting too much pressure on there, it's just got a slight tension to it, and that's fully locked. Now all it is just like a locking, or not even a locking washer, but more of like a tension type of washer in there that keeps this thing locked. Now if they had some kind of a notch or something, that would probably be a better design, but as you can see, it still allows pivoting of this bipod. So I don't really like that too much. Now if you're looking for something that doesn't pivot, obviously I would stay away from this Blackhawk Sportster model and just get a standard bipod that doesn't pivot. That would eliminate that issue altogether. The other issue that I found on this is the front here. This is the mounting, basically the mounting screw. These mount up to the swivel sling studs. And now if this gets stripped out, which it is now, this bipod is almost completely useless until you replace this screw. What I found was, once I installed it, just general handling of this rifle here, this became loose. So I would tighten it up just a little bit more, and it would remain tight for a little bit, and just general handling of it, cleaning of the firearm, it became loose again. So I kept tightening it and snugging it each time it would become loose, and over time I have found, which is about a week, that this is becoming stripped. Now I don't know how it's happening, or if it's just a weak metal, maybe just something in my bipod. I don't know, I haven't read about it too much, but this one has become actually stripped. So I'm going to replace this and hope that it fixes the problem here, but as you can see, once this is done, I'll loosen this up for you real quick to simulate how stripped out it is. I mean, this bipod is almost useless in that sense. So that may be just operator error, but again, it seemed like it was getting loose again, so I would just snug it up just a little bit, and each time just basically stripped it all out. So again, that might be just me, but that's another issue that I found so far with this bipod. Just to give this some kind of comparison here, you can hear just how noisy this thing is. I mean, it's probably like just the springs here, since they're all touching, all the coils are touching. That's making all that noise. But to compare this up to another cheaper bipod, this is one that I bought off of Amazon, and this one was about 25 bucks or something like that, and really cheap. But here's just a comparison. I mean, this thing makes a lot of noise and sounds really cheap. Not to mention it adds quite a bit of weight, quite a bit more weight than this one that I have here. Because of the pivoting action, there's more hardware mounted to it. It just feels more bulky. This one seems more low profile. Again, this is even just a no-namer that I bought off Amazon. So just to give it a quick comparison, even the the way this one mounts, I'll show you here in just a second. Even in the way it mounts, it's even you know, more of a lower profile, as you can see there. The legs come out more straight. This one comes out, you know, a little still wide. And even in the trying to do this with two hands here. Even in the way it sits on the stock itself, these both have about the same curvature of the stock, and you can see this one kind of shoots upward towards the barrel. This one's more attractive. It's straight with the barrel. So altogether, I'm actually not too happy at all with this bipod, and so I figured I would just let other people know. I'm not sure if anybody else has had this issue with this bipod, but it's been pretty much a regret for me. So, but the nice thing is that I got it from Walmart, and if I could find my receipt in my package somewhere around there, I'll be able to just return it. But that's pretty much all I have for this bipod. Again, I haven't even taken it shooting yet, and I can almost guarantee that I'm probably going to run into issues. I'm going to replace this screw here, see if that fixes things, but I still don't like the fact that it starts to pivot even when it's in the fully tightened position here that it can go to, as you can see there. So, this is my short little review. I give this one a big thumbs down on the Blackhawk Sportster 6-9 from Walmart. Like I said, it was about 35 bucks. So, check back for a little update, and I'll catch you guys next time.